Today we're talking about what to do when your bushes are starting to bloom and your flowers are coming up, but it's not quite spring yet. In typical Klamath Falls fashion, Mother Nature cannot make up its mind. We've had snow, we had a long period of rain, but now we've had a period of temperatures in the 50s, lots of sun, and some of the bushes are starting to set buds, some of the flowers are starting to come up, and some of you are concerned that maybe you should cover them, do something because you're going to lose them if you don't. But rest assured, everything that's cold hardy is probably going to be okay. Your lilacs, hydrangeas, forsythias, all the stuff that's starting to come up, your tulips, daffodils, snowdrops. Snowdrops are always the first to bloom. They're a short flower. They're only a few inches tall. They get white, like bell-shaped flowers. Some people call them snowdrops. Some people call them snowbells. They're always the first to bloom, and they're starting to come up in my yard. One year I had them come up 3 times. We had a period of time where it was beautiful. The weather was unseasonably warm, and then it went back to snow. They went dormant again, and then that cycle repeated a couple times. They bloomed 3 times in one season, so that was kind of fun. But if you go out in my yard today, here's a picture of a lilac tree that's setting buds. But here's another lilac bush not that far away that is not interested in blooming at all. It's not setting buds. It's still napping. Here's a hydrangea that's starting to set buds. A rose bush that's starting to get some activity. Something green coming up in my yard. I have no idea what this is. Probably some weed. And then over here we have something coming up through the rocks. It might be scary, but there's typically nothing you can do. Mother Nature's cueing them that it's time to get going. It's spring and it's going to get cold again. Spending back in the teens at night. But these plants are not going to be affected by this. They'll just kind of slow down and take their time setting buds and getting ready to bloom for when spring really does come here in a few weeks. So don't panic. Your cold hardy things are going to be fine. The only thing that you should be concerned about in a couple months is if your fruit trees set buds and start to bloom and then frosts, and then there's typically not a lot you can do about that, but it's not going to be a good year for your fruit trees, but that's way down the line. We can talk about that later. Thanks for joining me.